Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new here. I'm Chloe and I would love you to stick around. I make lots of lifestyle videos, lots of organising, decluttering videos, but today I am filming my makeup routine. So this is a very fresh-faced Chloe, and this video was kindly requested by a viewer, so thank you so much. I love hearing from you guys. So today I'm going to film my weekend makeup routine, and I say weekend because this is not something I do every day. I have like a bit of a quicker routine for busy weekdays, but when I do have a bit more time at the weekend, I do like to spend time on it. So I quite enjoy doing my makeup. So this makeup routine usually takes me about 20 to 25 minutes. Depends if I've got music playing at the same time, but then it just takes me a lot longer because I end up just using the makeup brush as a microphone and prattling around. But I'll show you the products that I use, what I absolutely love, like my holy grails that I go back to all the time, and any little tips I've picked up along the way. So let's get ready for the day, shall we? So the first thing I do is to make sure I've done my face wash and my cleanser. So I use these two products. This is what I've been using for the past couple of months. So I've been using the Simple Facial Scrub and then the CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. This is a really nice product to make your skin feel really soft, and then I feel like this just gets like all the dirt out. And then before I put my makeup on, I'll use the moisturiser, and I'm just using the simple one at the moment. I will experiment with different face washes and moisturisers and things. I do love the Bobbi Brown like moisturiser primer, but it is expensive, so I'll just treat myself to that every now and again. And something else I love, which I think works as a really nice base for before you put your makeup, is the Saint Tropez face mist. It's like a tanning mist, so every couple of nights I'll just like spray this all over my face, and then you just wake up with a glow rather than starting on like a really pale base. So first thing I use is concealer. So this one is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. So I'll try and look as much as I can into the lens, but I need to look in the mirror whilst I'm doing it because I cannot do my makeup in the viewfinder. So just put some like this, and then I'll just blend that in with my fingers into my under eye, and then I'll just blend that into the blemishes. I have also got the Maybelline Magic Eraser one, which is fairly good, but sometimes I'd find it leaves it not looking that moisturised under my eye. Like sometimes I feel like it'd cake a little bit, so I just wanted to try a different one, and I have been really happy with the NARS one, and it seems to have lasted me a really long time because you only need a tiny bit. So after I've done the concealer, I'll then use my foundation. So it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, stays all day and night. The Charlotte Tilbury makeup bottles are just the most gorgeous things ever. Like I just love to have them all displayed on the side. I think they're just such nice bottles. So I use this one, and then I also use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I think it's called. It's got like a round head. I've got it over here, hang on, which is this one, but I've used it that much that the writings come off it. But the brush on this one is really good, so you can just kind of like, I just really like that brush on that one. But that's much nicer if you're having a bit of a lighter makeup day, or you want to be like glowy and luminous. This one's perfect for that, but since I've started using this foundation, I've loved it. So I'll just pop some like this. Hopefully my nostrils don't flare too much when I do this. When I concentrate, the nostrils just flare sometimes. So I'm just gonna blend all that in with a brush, and then I'll just go like down my neck as well. I don't want any lines under the neck. When I was first getting this foundation, I went into Selfridges and then got them to match the foundation shade to my colour, because it is quite an expensive foundation. You don't want to be buying the wrong colour and then not really wearing it. So they tested a few out on me, and then now I just know which one to buy when I need to go and rebuy it. It is quite a full coverage foundation, so if you have got any blemishes or spots, it usually does a pretty good job of clearing them up so you can't really see them. And then any excess I'll just put on my neck and a little bit on my chest. And then after the foundation, I'll put on my powder. So I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I just apply that with a beauty blender. I'll just dab it in there like that, get quite a bit on the beauty blender, and then just kind of put it under my eye like that and pat it all in. Same with the other eye. Sorry if these are super scary angles. And then I'll put some on my forehead. So this I feel just basically helps me stay a bit more matte all day, because my skin does go a bit oily throughout the day, and I like a powder just to stay a bit more matte. So any areas where my makeup tends to like melt a little bit, this will just help it stay put. Okay, and then after the powder, I put on my bronzer. So I use the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Just really like this one, and I've used it for years. So I'll put it on my cheekbones like this, top of my head, up here, and then take it under my neck, and then any excess I'll just dab like over other parts of my face, and then again just a bit more on the neck to make sure it all blends nicely. Okay, then I'll do blush. So I've got my blusher brush and I use the NARS Orgasm blush. Really like the shade. It's kind of like a nice buildable one and it's quite like glowy, highlighty. So I'll just put a bit of that on my cheeks and just build it up to the desired pinkiness that I like. You have to just pull such weird faces when you're doing your makeup, don't you? It's quite a bright day today, so I'm hoping you can see it okay. I might just add a little bit on the nosy. So that's that. Then I move on to my brows. So for my brows, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade. This one's in dark brown, but I also used to use taupe. The dark brown, sugar, is quite dark, so you only need a tiny bit, but I feel like it lasts me a bit longer. So with the taupe, I used to put on a bit more, and then I just have this angled eyeshadow brush. It's just got like a really thin edge. So that's the pomade inside, and then I'll just get just a little bit. I'll brush it off on the side of the pot. Not really sure how I'm gonna show you this. But I'll give it a go. So brush it underneath. You just basically want to follow the outline of your eyebrow already. Start with making a line underneath to define that bit. Don't go near the front until I've used quite a bit of the product so that it's not too dark. And then when I've got a little bit of product left, I'll just add it to those front little bits. As so. And then I'm just going to do the other one. Right, I think I'm done there with the pomade, and I'll just wipe off any excess onto a bit of tissue. Keep the brush clean. So then I use an eyebrow gel. So I've done the pomade, and then the eyebrow gel just like defines the hairs, so it looks a bit more natural. So Benefit do like a brow one that's really good as well, but I find this one, which is from Rimmel, it's the Wonderful Brow. I use the shade Dark. This one's just as good. You just have to be quite careful that, again, you don't put too much like at the front. It's just a really tiny little brush. So I'll just brush over. Sometimes I like it when it's kind of running out a little bit because it's easier to put on at the front without adding too much. So I'll just brush all the hairs to one side. So that's that. And then for the last step on the brows, I'll just go back to the concealer. I'll add a few little dots underneath and then just blend it in. And then that just gives, go like this. And then just with like a really fine brush, I'll just brush that up under the eyebrow to give it like a really clean line underneath the brow. And then blend it all in. It's probably hard to see the difference that it makes on the camera, but in real life obviously you can see hairs and just like little darker bits, so it just really brightens up underneath the eyebrow. Okay, so eyebrows complete. Then I move on to my eyes. I know some people do the eyes first and then the makeup, and if I was doing heavy eyeshadow makeup then I would, because it does go on your cheeks and stuff, but this is just the way I do it. So for my eyes, I use the Laura Mercier primer. This I added to my collection towards the end of last year and it has been a game changer. If I'd recommend one product out of all these, I mean the foundation is like my favourite as well, but this eyeshadow primer is incredible. Your eyeshadow does not budge all day. Normally throughout the day for me, like the eyelid creases would kind of start like melting, or you know, like your makeup just goes a bit odd, or even if you rub your eyes and it all comes off on your fingers. Like with this is smudge proof. It just keeps it in place all day. Yeah, highly recommend. I've got it in the colour Flax. I think they do 3 or 4 different like base shades. You could just use it as an eyeshadow, but I just add eyeshadow over the top of it. Also, if you've got any like blue marks here, like in the corner of your eyes, or dark bits, this really just brightens up the whole eye. But I just applied the primer, but it wasn't filming. So I was just saying, you just have to apply like a really small amount to your eyelids. It dries really quickly as well, so you want to be fast applying it and then rubbing it in, otherwise you can't budge it, which is obviously the purpose of the product. And then I just really get it into them corners to cover up any bluey bits or like bluey veins or dark bits. And then I just add my eyeshadow on top of the primer. So I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerised in Amber Gold. I've had this in another colour as well. This one's got like a pinky tinge to it. And then I also have a Maybelline palette. This is like a very creamy eyeshadow, or sometimes I'll just use one of the browner shades out of that palette. It's just a little part, and I have my eyeshadow brush, and you only need a really small amount with these because they're very pigmented. And then brush that onto my eyelid. I'll try and take my eyeshadow up into the corners a little bit here of my eye and out. Bear with. So there's quite a dark one here, or this brown. I'll just add a really little bit and then put it on the line of my eyelashes. Maybe a little bit underneath. And then I have a slightly bigger brush, and I'll just use either this light one or this one just to blend the darker colour up into my eyebrow. You've got to blend so that the eyeshadow doesn't look too harsh. Lots of blending. with the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise eyeshadow, because it's like a cream powder, you don't get the whole like flick of powder on your face when you're doing your eyeshadow, so it kind of stops that, which is good. And then for eyeliner and mascara, I have two NYX eyeliners. I just really like their eyeliner products. So this one is the Vivid Rich liner, so it's just like a pencil, you just twist and then you get more out the top. So I used that one first, and then I've got a liquid eyeliner. I could just use the liquid eyeliner, but if I'm doing quicker makeup, the pencil's a lot quicker to put on. I have to be really careful with the liquid one, and I like to use the liner under the liquid one just to kind of give me some direction. So like I'll just put this on quickly. I feel like you can just colour in a bit better with this one. It's like easier to do. And then it's just a nice guide for when you're doing your liquid one. Liquid eyeliner is definitely when you've got more time, because it can go wrong quite quickly, and then it's alright for. And then I'll just add a little bit the bottom. I don't like to add too much to the bottom, but just a little bit over the lashes I think helps. If I was doing a super quick makeup routine, I think eyeliner and mascara and a bit of brow pencil really just make you look a bit more alive. I forgot to mention for my brows as well, sometimes I'll use a pencil. This one is this Rimmel? I want to say that it's Rimmel. The writing's rubbed off, and I'll just sharpen it a lot, and then I'll just use it underneath if I want to get like a really fine line under my eyebrows, or just like fill them in throughout the day. And then the liquid eyeliner is the NYX Epic Ink liner, which is like this. It's just like a pen with a really fine point on it, and I'll just kind of go over the top and then try and give it a little flick at the end. So we'll see how this goes. I might just actually bring the mirror in and try and do it like this. Sorry, give me 2 minutes. Okay, so I've just done the eyeliner. There's always one that goes better than the other, annoyingly, but it's not looking overly great today because I did that quite quickly. But anyway, it will do. So then for mascara, I use the Maybelline Sky High mascara. There's like 3 different colours. I'm not sure what the different colours of like the bottles represent. They have them in black, like this pinky colour, and then another one, but I quite like the brush head on these. And I always tend to use 2 mascaras when I'm doing my mascara. So one of them will be like nearly ran out, so the brush is a lot drier, and then the other one will be like a new one. It's got a lot more product on it. So the one that's drying out a little bit, I'll kind of use to brush up my eyelashes and push them apart a little bit, and then the one that's got a lot of product on will just kind of give them that volume. So I think if I could only ever have one makeup product, it would be mascara. What is it about mascara that just makes you feel alive? It really enhances the eyes. And I always put mascara on the bottom, always have quite long eyelashes, and if I was really going to town on my makeup, I would put false eyelashes on. But day to day, I'm quite happy with my eyelashes as they are. If I was going out or to an event or something, wedding or a party, I'd use false eyelashes. And the eyelashes that I love and use are the Ardell Wispy Lashes with the Duo glue. So these actually come with like mini Duo glues inside them. I just find that glue's really good, and the lashes are very natural looking. There's actually a nice picture on the back there. Like one of those. Does it look weird? Like those cards that you can put on your nose. If I was going out, I'd maybe put some glittery eyeshadow on, and I'd probably add some highlighter to my face, just like on the cheekbones and on my nose and stuff. I have a Benefit highlighter, but it's not in my day-to-day makeup bag because I don't use it all the time. I use a lay flat makeup bag as well, which is life-changing. I don't think I could go to anything else now. I actually did for a couple of months, and then I went back to my lay flat makeup bag. It's just so good to see everything that's in your bag. It's just really easy and quick to access. And then it's just got like drawstrings on it, and then it just pulls up really easily. I can see why people do the makeup and then do like a chatty style video, because I feel like you just waffle rubbish whilst you're doing your makeup. It's like getting ready with your friend, isn't it? And then you just chat about all sorts. If anyone goes to Costco, they do these mascaras in a pack of 3 for £20, I think it is, but they're usually £11, £12 each for one in like Boots or Superdrug. You get 3 for £20 in Costco, which I did last time because I thought that was like a really good offer. You have to be careful sometimes, don't you, that if you go over it too many times, it looks a bit clumpy. And then for lips, at the moment I've been loving this, which is the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm in Rose. I usually use the Carmex lip balm, which is very nice, keeps your lips very moisturised, but this just really gives like a natural pink look without having to use lipstick and stuff. So I'll just put this on, and the more you use it throughout the day, like the pinker your lips look. And it's just really easy to apply, makes your lips feel really soft. You can see there they look a lot pinker now. I just rub them together. and it's done. But if I am doing lipstick and stuff like that, lip gloss, you know who I'm going to? A Charlotte Tilbury. So I generally just use the Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. So I got a little mini set at Christmas. It was very cute, and these 3 were in it, but usually I'd have like the normal size. But the Pillow Talk's just like a really peachy, pinky, I'm a peachy pinky type of gal. The lip liner is great, just like outlining your lips. Just want to give it a bit of definition on the top. I like that. And then the lip gloss, if you're a lip gloss girly, is very nice as well, and the brush is like a little heart. But yeah, that's very nice to put on. I'm not going to put too much on because sometimes I'm not feeling sticky lips. But that is the makeup look all done. That is usually what I would do at the weekend. I would also use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray if I was going out and I wanted it to stay. I might just use a little bit now actually. Just spritz it on your face. I'd usually put a bit more than that on. Usually like waft a fan just to dry it a little bit. It's quite refreshing. I would usually also use a primer, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, and the Benefit Pore Professional one I would usually use as a base. This one I got for free when I bought some products, which was a Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, which was like a blurring primer, which was really nice as well. And I think I mentioned at the beginning about the Bobbi Brown Primer Moisturiser, which is lovely. But I think the primer part is very important before you put your foundation on, because it allows your foundation to go on much smoother. It just hydrates your face. I have recently been on the lookout for lots of dupes. So I've been asking my friend ChatGPT for dupes on different products that I use, just because in the week I don't do this makeup routine as much. Sometimes I don't do anything, I'll just put a bit of mascara on. But if there is days when I don't feel like I want to use all my Charlotte Tilbury products all the time, because it's quite expensive to rebuy them often, I've been looking for dupes, and I found a good dupe of the NARS blusher actually, and it's the Brimmel Maxi Blush. Sorry, my throat's going. In shade Third Base. So yeah, really liked using that one, and I'm on the lookout for a Hoola bronzer dupe and some other foundations. So if you like this kind of video, maybe I could do like a dupes video as well. If I find some decent products, I can show you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks so much for the request. Do let me know if you have any other requests, just pop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!